Welcome everyone to a special edition of Tea Time with Tommy Pro Wrestling Podcast. Tommy Lee here with NORBZ CABRERA, and we have a very special guest here, the Pope, Elijah Burke. Thank you, sir, for coming on the show.
No problem, Tommy.
Oh,
I'm glad to be
there.
Here.
He is.
Oh, yeah,
I'm glad to be here.
I thought you weren't coming on the video.
I just threw my hoodie on and we'll just rock with it.
Okay, we really
That's
appreciate
great
it. You
enough,
didn't have
great
to do
enough.
that for us, Pope, but thank you so much. And I know you're a really
No
busy
problem.
man, and thank you so much for coming on the show. And yeah, let's get right into it, Pope. Oh, first off, do you like to be known as the Pope, Elijah Burke?
It don't matter if I'm in an airport. It's going to go either way, so it don't really matter, you know.
All right, I'll call you Pope.
People know me as Elijah. I'm going to be Elijah Burke till the day I die, and obviously I'm going to be Pope now till the day I die too. So it don't matter.
I'll call you. I love calling you the Pope. So let's do this. All right, here we go. So yes, Pope. First question is, what inspired you to become a professional wrestler and to get into the pro wrestling industry?
I think for a lot of people, certainly if you've been following Pope, and I understand we're in a new crop of fans today, but it's just WTBS, sitting down watching NWA wrestling with my dad. You know, we weren't sitting together. I was actually sitting on the floor while he sat in this recliner, me and my brother. But we were all gathered in front of that little 19 or 32-inch square television with the antennas, man, and had the little cable running through it, and we would watch whatever wrestling that was available, and that was NWA for us down here in Jacksonville, Florida, and followed by World Class Championship Wrestling on Saturday mornings.
Wow,
That's
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I love the classics, and I always have to go back to it. Speaking of you had a very successful boxing career prior to getting into professional wrestling. How were you able to transition from being a boxer into a pro wrestler?
Practice makes perfect. It's never an easy transition from any one sport to the other, especially coming from a legitimate sport of professional or amateur boxing and tough man boxing, I should say, coming from that world and then coming over into the somewhat choreographed, I should say, world of professional wrestling, where, you know, we're not trying to knock someone's teeth out every single time. Yeah, there are points in one's career where you're going to throw a real punch to an individual, but we're all out there to make money together. So my main concern coming in was the transition, and that was all about being able to hold the punch and not throw the punch with as much force that I was taught while I was, you know, doing my boxing and whatnot. So two different worlds for sure.
If it was if you went up against Canelo or Terrence Crawford, my money's on you, Pope.
Ha ha. Well, you know what? Who knew and who knows what would have been? But I tell a lot of people when they ask me, you know, it's like, you know, it was so long ago, man, that you know, when you cross over into one thing, you get acclimated to it. You never forget what you've learned in whatever other field, but it's never going to be the same. It's never going to be the same. I still want Jake Paul, though. I don't think I need to be.
I'll watch that.
I think I need to be active in the boxing world to get in the ring and lay him out. But I don't think he's going to come for someone with a legitimate background.
Oh, I would definitely like to see you lay him out. That's for sure. Next question, Pope, is a lot of people know you from many many wrestling organizations you wrestled for, especially WWE. How was that experience like? The experience wrestling in the WWE.
Well, Tommy, I think anyone would say, certainly during my time, I wouldn't say today, because today it's like a bag of pecans. You know, you could take a bag of pecans or M&Ms, or let's just say popcorn. You go to the movie theater, you take popcorn. You know you're going to lose some popcorn, and so that way when you're putting those popcorns in your mouth, you just do it at such a rate that you don't really care about the ones that fall, because you know it's going to fall. Going into buying your bag of popcorn at that movie theater, you know that you are not going to have a 100% or near 100% completion rate on eating your popcorn. You know you're going to drop some. It's part of the experience. Right now in today's WWE, part of the experience is being dropped. You go in, or should go in, knowing that you may be one of the popcorns that fall to the floor and they do not even blink an eye. No matter how important you think you are, no matter how much butter that you have somehow obtained while in that bag, you are no more important than the next popcorn. So if we got you, we got you. If we drop you, you're gone. So that's their experience. But my experience back in WWE, coming into it, it was amazing. It was what it was for me, because it was my dream of sorts, never thinking that I'd be in the WWE. I was a WCW guy. I was an NWA guy. So for all of that to dissipate and WWE become the end all be all, it was a blessing in disguise when WCW went out of business, because I was going to go to the power plant, I thought, while I was an officer. But it was a dream come true to be working with the guys who inspired me. I'm talking about the Flair. I'm talking about being right up under Dusty Rhodes and working with him hand in hand, to be Vince McMahon's guy and talk. I mean, it was a mind blowing experience.
Wow, I love that popcorn analogy. I want to use that for my life.
Yeah, they come and go. Yeah. I don't plan them. They just happen, just like a promo. It just comes.
That was amazing.
Good stuff. Moving right along from WWE to TNA wrestling, you had a successful run there too, and that's where you introduced the Pope moniker. Tell us your experience with TNA and being in the locker room with with the top names like Kurt Angle, Sting, and Hulk Hogan. How was that experience like?
Well, first off, thank you for introducing yourself to Pope. I'm glad to know we're on the first name basis, CABRERA.
Pope.
But nonetheless, nonetheless, man, going down to TNA was not going to be anything different, because I mean, you hit the stars. You're in the universe, if you will, when you're up there in WWE. So you're not going to. There's nothing that's going to happen to you outside of WWE that's really going to be that may top it per se. Because in WWE, I had a chance to, those are my first time running into the Hogan and meeting Jimmy Hart and Hogan, and meeting so many of the legends, Iron Sheik and Jimmy Snuka and The Rock, and the list goes on and on. Especially during WrestleMania weekends, you meet everybody. Hillbilly Jim was a great guy to me. He loved seeing me. He loved giving me advice. Sergeant Slaughter, and the list goes on. So. When I got to TNA, there was a difference, and that was the fact because those guys were actively wrestling at the time, who you mentioned, like the Sting, Kurt Angle, to share the locker rooms with him and Booker T and Kevin Nash. Those are guys that I had already worked with, but the most important part that stands out about TNA was being able to run in my own pack with Sting and Kevin Nash. Now, that was a cool experience, NWO, TNA Wolfpack version, I should say. So that was a cool experience, and it was just great. It wasn't WWE; it was just all laid back, chill, just like we are now.
Exactly.
Excellent. I really enjoyed your charisma in TNA. Like, you were awesome in the mic, and yeah, it was a great run. I enjoy those TNA days for sure.
I appreciate that. I enjoy the TNA days. There's nothing. Obviously, we know the rug got pulled from up underneath me. St. Louis lockdown versus AJ Styles when I was supposed to become the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. That's a thing of the past, nothing that I dwell on. But it does not take away from the good times that I had in Impact Wrestling / TNA, because it allowed me to grow the more. I went in, and I immediately got something that I never knew I'd have because I was never a Hogan or a Warrior or, you know, any of those guys that sought it. I got creative control, you know. I didn't have to ask for it. It was just Vince Russo going, bro, you gotta be the Pope, bro. You know, I had my match there with Shawn Spears. I always tell the story. I had my match with Shawn Spears. They're gonna hire me. Jim Cornette is like, what are they gonna do with you? They said they want you to be a heel. Now you're out there being cheered. I don't know what they're gonna do. And so I take this little 3-minute highlight reel, this little vignette that I have of the Pope that I shot in OVW in Louisville, Kentucky. And I say, Vince, I call him coming out. I say, Vince, could you watch this for me? He said, sure, I'll go watch it. I was like, no, Vince, watch. He said, I'm going to go watch it right now, bro. Just wait. I'll go watch it and come back. I said, it's only 3-4 minutes. He said, I got you. He goes in. He goes right into the office. He comes back out 4 minutes later. Bro, forget Elijah Burke, bro. You gotta be the Pope, man. You have to be no. Who's Elijah Burke? You're the Pope, bro. You're the Pope, and I already have the name Dinero because Pope is money, bro. And from that moment, I became Pope instantly. I debuted as Pope, and from that moment, Vince Russo, shout out to him, he would go, I never got scripted. I never got told how to be, how to act. And that's because Vince would go, okay, Popey, what are we doing today, Popey? Come on, Popey. Cut your promo, Popey. It's like, what do you mean? Like, bro, come on. What are you going to say? It's like, well, what the hell am I talking about first, Vince? I mean, I got the Pope thing down. You don't have to worry about that. But I still need some direction. You still got to let me know what I'm going to talk about. And that was Vince's thing. He was like, bro, I can't write for you, bro. No one can write for the Pope. I'm a 40-year-old Italian from New York, bro. How can I possibly write for Pope?
That's amazing.
A quick question, Pope. So, like, if I can get this correct, just for the viewers, the Pope, the name came from Vince Russo at that right there. Is that where it came from, or
D'Angelo Dinero came from Vince Russo?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dinero was Vince, and a collaboration of a first name. Let's go with D'Angelo. That's double D's. You know, that got a nice ring to it. So that was the collaboration. The Pope came from yours truly.
Oh my, okay.
Yeah, I was going to be the Pope in WWE. I was actually going to be the Black Pope in WWE. That's what I was working on, trying to get them to allow me to do prior to my exit from them. And then, because I already had the footage to explain, not from WWE, the same footage I had to show Vince, I showed them. It's like, this is who Pope is, you know? Pope was just Pope by name only. There was nothing religious about the character. It's just a title of the character. His name was Pope. And so I drew inspiration from animated character who, you know, had a name that had nothing to do with who he was, but he always referred to himself and wanted to be acknowledged by that name. It's almost like being called boss. You know, what up, boss? Well, I'm not your boss, but you call me boss, and I prefer for you to call me boss. You know, even though I'm on the line here, you know, making the burgers at McDonald's, and yet y'all coming in calling me boss. You know, so.
Man, that's me. My apologies there. Yes, you are the creator of the Pope, and that's amazing story. Thank you for sharing that with us, Pope.
It's tea time, Daddy. I got my coffee, and you are
right here.
You got tea. So we all good.
Except for NORBZ, he's drinking water right now, Pope. So
my throat's hurting right now. My apologies. Having a sore throat right now. So.
Way to kill the gimmick, kid. Way to kill the gimmick.
Thanks, NORBZ. Yeah, I know. Hey,
thanks.
NORBZ. Great job.
My apologies to the viewers out there.
I'm putting over your tea. I put over your tea time. You drink tea. Can't nobody see that except you. And that's the cool part about what we do. That's the cool part. You know, Pope got his podcast, Pope's Point of View, with Elijah Burke. I can record it at 4 o'clock in the morning as oftentimes as I do, and I can still talk about the day before and act as if it's the day before, because you don't know that. It's much like with wrestling. The only thing you know is what you see and what you hear. Otherwise, what you see and what you hear from an in-ring standpoint and on television is what you are to believe. Even now, you got the stuff going on with Charlotte that I talk about on Post Point of View with Elijah Burke. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. Sure, there may have been some issues between the two, and I'm not trying to go into this, but I'm just using this as an example. Sure, there may have been some issues between the two, but for you to think those issues are actually boiling over and into the public in such a way that it is right now, that are causing people to really question the professionalism of both of those girls, well, then that's because that's what they want you to know. That's what they want you to hear. You think Becky's speaking about that stuff in MMA Hour and whatever other interview she's doing without the WWE's consent or knowledge of doing so? WWE will put a gag order on you in a heartbeat. Don't talk about this. Don't talk about that. But they were building towards Survivor Series. So yes, it was going to continue to push. And I guarantee you that'll all slow down now that that champion versus champion Survivor Series matchup is done.
No, good point. Good point, Pope. You should be.
We control the narrative. We control it. So when we're on time, tea time with Tommy, you control it, Daddy. Don't sit there and tell me you're drinking water when I say you're drinking tea.
Exactly, Norbs.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Lesson learned there, Pope.
I'll get a new co-host, Pope, by next week. Don't worry. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna feature Endeavor myself now.
I'm joking. Pope, you had amazing you're still currently having an amazing illustrious pro wrestling career. Loaded question: who were like the toughest or the most enjoyable wrestlers you ever faced thus far in your amazing career?
Toughest wrestlers I've ever faced. Toughest. You know, when you say that, there's so many avenues that you can go. It's so many. When you say tough, do you mean tough as in a beast? Do you mean tough as in difficult to work with? Do you mean tough as in get knocked down and pick back up? Like, there's so many ways to, you know, mentally tough. So
a beast.
A beast in the ring.
Yeah, beast in the ring.
Chris Benoit.
Oh, nice pick. Wow.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't know if I was going to get any censorship, but yeah, Chris Benoit. The dude, not from you. The dude was a beast. Him, and Kurt Angle. I wrestled Kurt Angle when I came back from that injury from lockdown, where I was supposed to defeat AJ Styles for the TNA World Heavyweight title. I got a separated shoulder or partially torn labrum in my shoulder. Can't even raise my arm up, and wasn't able to physically do anything in the gym except treadmill. Dropped about 25, 30 pounds. Looked a mess, and they said, "Hey, are you good to go? We want to bring you back for Kurt Angle." I say, "Hey, I haven't been cleared yet, but if y'all need me, yeah, we really need you, Kurt, to take care of you." So Kurt's a beast, and I wish I had more time to have worked with him. But everything Chris Benoit did, you felt. You felt. Just the opposite with Kurt. You didn't feel it, but Kurt's stamina and his wicked strength, the deception there is just unreal. So yeah, those are two of the I think two of the beasts that I was in there with. Fun times. Well, there's too many fun times to talk about. Some of my favorite opponents was AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, even Abyss. Abyss was a big monster, but he was barely, you just barely felt him. He was very easy, very light. Obviously, my times with the ECW legends, any incarnation. Balls Mahoney, good old Balls Mahoney. I love wrestling Balls Mahoney. Probably the most easiest, safest ECW legend at that time that we were working with, in my opinion. Hack was good too, Hack being Sandman. Balls Mahoney was just so easy to work. You never felt him. He would give me that balls, 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 and he would wind that big fist up, old balls, and I promise you, while it knocked the piss out of everybody that he hit, he never touched you. He was that good. He didn't get enough credit for it.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and it looked like he caught you right up under the chin. He was really good. So I had a lot of fun, and I had fun with during my time with Turkai. You know, obviously I hitched my trailer to him, and I was trying to ride him all the way to WrestleMania because we were being groomed for The Undertaker, and so that was something. And I also enjoyed my mini bouts with Tommy Dreamer, CM Punk. Me and CM Punk wrestled probably far more times than I can remember. So it was good. I had a lot of fun with a lot of people.
Oh, amazing stories.
Great experience. You're a former NWA World Television Champion, and you're having a great run so far in the National Wrestling Alliance. And you've watched NWA all your life. What is next for you in the promotion? What are your future plans?
I don't know. You tell me. Hopefully you're keeping track. It's only $5 a month, and I hope that, speaking of $5 a month, we'll get to it here shortly when Pope talks about his charity and his upcoming event.
Yes.
For the Love Alive charity. But it's quite obvious, you know. Again, you mentioned that Cabrera, that Pope, it's Cabrera, right? But nonetheless, that Pope came up, and watching it, as I talked about earlier, I talked about being a fan of the NWA, but then subsequently being a fan of WCW through his transition. I was diehard. Never in a million years would I have thought that, you know, after 18 years of doing this, you know, all of a sudden I'd be with the promotion that has that lineage that dates back to, you know, me, my dad, my brother on Saturday morning. Never in a million years. We're sitting here watching. We would get up, make sure we had our breakfast, you know, some bacon and some grits and some biscuits, daddy. You understand what I'm saying? And that's that Southern breakfast, dog. And so we would make sure that we're up, make sure we done ate, you know, get the syrup off our fingers, make sure we're washed up, and right there in front of that television for NWA Power Hour. And here it is, all these years later, your boy main eventing and partaking in NWA Power. That is just crazy. So I never thought in a million years that would happen, and not in a zillion years would I thought that I would have held the same title as my mentor, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, in that NWA World Television Championship. And then not only that, but go on, Tommy, to be the 6th longest reigning in the history of the National Wrestling Alliance. Something that will never be erased. Something that will be there well after we're all gone. You know, for the most part. You got Paul Jones, you have Tully Blanchard, you have Arn Anderson in order, you have Mike Rotundo, and then you have Steve Austin. Those 5 guys are the top 5 longest reigning NWA World Television Champions. And then right after that, you have the Pope. So to be behind that cast of guys, that crew, and I think Mike Rotundo is before Arn Anderson as far as holding it the longest at one time, man, to be in that conversation, that's amazing. So there's only one thing left for your boy to do, Cabrera. That's to go on and become the NWA World Heavyweight Champion and be the 2nd person that looks like me to hold that title. I mean, obviously, Ron Truth held that title. He's a lot darker than Pope. Shout out to our Truth. But nonetheless, dang, they won't even laugh. See, they won't laugh at the black joke, will they? They know better. But nonetheless.
Sorry. Our bad.
If Pope laugh, you can laugh. It's all good, but no. You put him on the spot there. But yeah, to follow and do something that has not been done in over 2 decades, I believe, or close, yeah, going on 2 decades, 17, 18 years, that'd be amazing. one black guy in the 73-year existence of the NWA has held the world title. That's our truth. And even then, this is not by a way to discredit, but it was a subcontracted title win, I should say, as what happened several times throughout NWA floundering of, just staying alive and working with different promotions. For me to win this under the NWA's hierarchy, under the NWA's banner, as it continues to establish itself and its own identity, man, it will be everything. And I plan on making it everything.
Man, no, major congratulations on that, Pope. It's an amazing feat you've achieved, and you will keep achieving. Last question, of course. I want to give you the whole platform, your organization at lovealive.org charity. Please, tell the viewers about it.
Well, first thing I want to do is I want to thank you, Tommy, for being one of the supporters of love-alive.org. Certainly you didn't have to, but you made sure that you went over and said, hey, I want to contribute, and you did just that. So thank you so much. Your boy's hard at work. You guys see me because I got to run back out in the cold here. Hey, look, when it started getting under the 70-degree mark in Florida, it's cold, okay? So this is how we are. I just got done literally before I hopped on here. I was trying to take care of the shirt projects for the charity. But we do so much, and it's over on Pope TV on YouTube. It's also on the charity Facebook account and Instagram, the Love Alive charity. It's simply what it is. You can go over and watch some of the videos and see what has been done to help contribute to the community. We assist the homeless and the in-need families, disadvantaged communities. And on January the 8th, 2022, Tommy, we are going to have our 10th year annual love drive. And that love drive is where we do exactly what I just explained to you. We will feed the homeless, not out of a soup truck, when I say home, I'm talking about hundreds. I mean, people line up. We start at noon, and people line up at 7 o'clock in the morning just to be in line. And sometimes it's cold. Sometimes it may be threatening to rain. But when people need it, they just need it. And so they'll stand there and wait for it. And we're not feeding them soup. We're not feeding them out of a brown paper bag, Cabrera. What we're feeding them is Burger King, the stuff that you and I take for granted. Chicken sandwiches, burgers. Sure. Yeah. Oh. The stuff that people take and after they get done and they take a bite, they just throw it in the trash. That's how I started the charity. I saw somebody do that. I saw a guy go and take it out the trash and eat it. And it was like, enough's enough. We have so many prominent individuals and people, not saying that they don't do enough in Jacksonville, Florida, but I hate it when everything is done for publicity or it's done because of a natural disaster of sorts or something that the media is focusing on, and then all of a sudden you take cases and award it and go to the community. So yeah, love-alive.org. I don't want to talk your viewers' heads off, but if you guys get a moment, go check it out. Go check out the videos over on the Love Alive Charity Instagram account and Facebook account. And you'll be able to see some of the videos throughout the years. We show you where your money goes. And I don't want you to support me because over 10 years, a lot of it has come from Pope, Tommy, out of Pope's pocket. And I have no problem. We got clothes that we give to people, new clothes and used clothes, scullies, caps, mittens, gloves, shoes, socks, hygiene products. And then we got book bags for the kids filled with essentials to help them achieve academic success. So we try to do a little something and try to cover everybody, but don't y'all wait for a GoFundMe to be set up for Pope to say, oh gosh, Pope's doing bad. No, come on and be the change that you wish to see in the world today, and it starts with you, and you can start by helping me be that change. So thank you for allowing me to share that.
Oh, absolutely, Pope. And yes, everyone, please, lovealive.org. It's a great cause, great charity, guys. Definitely support lovealive.org, which Pope is running. Pope, thank you so much on behalf of NORBZ and all the viewers of Tea Time. You're a very busy man. and for coming on the show like this. And we really, really appreciate it. So just stay on for a few minutes, Pope. But for all the viewers watching now, thank you, Pope, NORBZ, and Tommy. Tea Time with Tommy, signing out.
Hold on, Tommy.
Wait.
Hold on. Before you sign off, I just want to say that one more time. And I know you're doing your closing, but it's love-alive.org. I didn't want to correct you, but I figured.
Thank you. I am sorry for that.
Love-alive.org. And also, guys, be sure to follow your boy on Pope's Point of View podcast with Elijah Burke. I got a special Thanksgiving episode that's going to drop with the manager of champions, Polo Del Mar, and it will have you laughing your buttocks off. So
I am so sorry about. Okay, yeah, let me correct that. It's love dash.
Hold on, Tommy. Oh. Yeah, love-alive.org. I said you can laugh your butt off if you listen this Thursday for the special edition of Pope's Point of View. What's your nationality?
South Korean.
South Korean. So not too much of a buttocks then, huh?
No. I'm watching it. I'm definitely.
It looks like Cabrera knew where I was going from the beginning. But go ahead, I'm just messing with you.
You're awesome, man. You're awesome.
You know what, Pope? My apologies. And of course, social media handle people can follow you at as well. You want to?
Yes, at the Black Pope. Thank you very much, Tommy. At the Black Pope. At the Black Pope, DA Black Pope on Instagram, DA Black Pope on Twitter, Facebook.com/Elijah Burke, my real name, of course. And obviously, as I said, Post Point of View podcast with Elijah Burke, killing it. Just love you guys for supporting me. And you can go over and follow and watch some of my cool videos on Pope TV over on YouTube. Tommy, you guys have been a blast. Cabrera, you've been so wonderful. I appreciate you guys for having me on.
Thank you, Pope. And yes, just stay on for 2 more seconds, Pope. And yes, absolutely, you can yell at me for missing out on giving you those things. I deserve it. But yes, this is the great Pope. Tea Time with Tommy, signing out, guys.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy, the Pope Elijah Burke, 6th longest reigning all-time former NWA World Television Champion, and you are listening to Tea Time with Tommy.
Hey everyone, it's Brittany from Tea Time with Tommy, and don't forget to catch Tea Time with Tommy and click the subscribe button on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. And if you don't click the subscribe button, Tommy will be a very, very, very cranky old man. So let's not have that. So make sure you click the like and subscribe button.